Hey, what's going on, you beauties? It is January. We're back at it, coming out of the holiday season, and it's slow. Very slow. Almost uncomfortably quiet slow. But that's January. That's typically what it is for me, anyways, and probably a lot of other people coming out of the holiday season. But I like to take that time and kind of do a little bit of a reset for the business, and there's lots going on. So, covering weeks 1 to 3 here. Projects. What projects have we been working on? We got the game table that I've been currently working on. It was supposed to go out before Christmas, but with shipping and stuff, it just doesn't happen. I was also waiting on LEDs that I needed to get because they were getting shipped in from China. So they take a few weeks, and so customer's been great about it. He just wanted to know when it was going to be coming, but it's going to be getting shipped this week, which is really nice. My Nintendo coffee table finally done. I got glass for that, put that on, and that's getting shipped out this week as well, which is great. And then I've had kind of a smattering of other Etsy projects kind of come in throughout the holidays. My couch tables, Lazy Susans, and even a couple hat racks, just a couple of those stragglers coming in. But still, very slow for me. Not a lot of revenue coming in, which kind of sucks because rent's due, heating's due, propane, and all the little bobs and things that we have to pay for as a business. And we'll get into that a little bit later here. One nice thing is we did get a D&D contract. So the Department of National Defense, their heritage subsection, I think it is, they needed a light table, so they found me, and that's what I'll be building hopefully before March 31st, because that's when the contract is due. Major tasks and progress that we've been taking on. We created, well, by we, I mean I have created a new line of pasta products, which include a gnocchi board, a ravioli board, like that guy, a garganelli board. These are all words that I learned because I'm on a pasta journey, and it's been a lot of fun. But I figured, reading through a couple of the pasta books I got for Christmas, there's a few things that I can actually build made out of wood, out of my scrap wood, which is really nice. So that's something that I can do. So I've made some prototypes. I'm getting pictures out and creating some new Etsy listings and trying to update the website as well. Shop upgrades. January right now is the perfect time to do that for me because it is slower than I like, but it does give me that little bit of breathing room to be able to kind of go through the shop. Any of the inefficiencies or the things that have been bugging me pretty much the whole year, I can kind of address at this point. One of them is for the jointer. If you know what the jointers are and how they work, they have a little safety thing. We call it the pork chop, but it slams shut every time you push a board through, and it makes a horrible clanking noise because it's metal on metal. So I finally got fed up the other day when I was doing a quick little milling job, and I went and got some Velcro. I put a little piece on the front of there, and now it just kind of like just makes a little thud sound, but it's almost not audible when I have my headphones on, which is wonderful. And another one at the joiner was my push blocks that I have. I usually put it on top of the pork chop, but when it vibrates and stuff, eventually they fall off or they slide off. So I was running the CNC the other day for a client just doing a little small job, and so I threw a little piece of cherry on there and just created a pocket. Really, that was all it was. Nothing fancy, nothing too elegant looking, just functional at this point. And we got that stuck down, and it is working great now that I don't have to worry about where it is. It goes in the same spot every time. It's a win for me. Other things that we've done. Oh yeah, my sander, my Merca sander, crapped out on me the other day. Just coming into the new year, actually, I went to go turn it on to finish a project, and I heard a little puff of smoke came out and some burning plastic smell. So the motor actually blew on it. I contacted Merca. It's out of warranty, so it was like $250, which sucks. Wasn't expecting that going into the new year. Sent that out for repair. They got it repaired, sent it back, and we're back up and running. But I had to use my giant Bosch Tex sander for everything else, so it got the job done. Wasn't my favorite, and my wrist hurts because of it, because it is a massive sander that I have to hold on to. Moving on to sales revenue and any expenses. So a lot of expenses, not a lot of revenue coming in January, which sucks. So I'm trying to boost that up a little bit. We had rent due on the first of every month. So cha-ching, cha-ching, we're already in the hole. Propane, Boom, that was a $1,500 punch to the gut because my radiant heat flooring that I have to heat the whole shop. I needed to fill those propane tanks, and I'm trying to figure out. My landlord just put a new boiler system in, so I'm hoping that it's a lot more efficient. That I don't have to fill them very often because last year I had to fill them every 3 weeks, so it was a very expensive winter month. But so far they seem to be doing pretty good, so I'm hoping that it's more efficient. Shipping has been very expensive. As everyone knows, it's a big cost when it comes to selling products online, having to ship them out everywhere. I have to kind of figure my shipping costs because I've been shipping a lot of stuff out, but I haven't really been making a lot on top of that. So I need to kind of relook at that and kind of figure that out for this year. Another thing, blade sharpening. I usually have 2 sets, but both my sets got kind of burned up during the holiday rush, and so both of them have had to go in. And I've been using my backup blades, which aren't that great. So I've been having to do a lot of kind of touch up work on the jointer and stuff to get edges to come together. And there's a lot of burn marks and stuff. So I'm hopefully getting those back this week. So I'll have fresh blades. It'll be really nice for the new year. It'll probably be cutting like butter, and I'll be kicking myself for not doing that earlier. Returns. This is one thing that because I've been selling more, I've been getting a couple more returns on my Lazy Susans, which kind of suck. I've been using just kind of a regular Lazy Susan ball bearing, and there is a noise from it because their ball bearings are rotating on each other. They make that rotatey ball bearing noise, and I've had more than enough customers kind of say that it's annoying and they don't really like it. So I've had to pivot, and I found some of the aluminum ball bearing Lazy Susan, the aluminum Lazy Susan ball bearings. There we go, and they're a silent ball bearing, so they don't make as much noise. So the people that have contacted me about the noise, I'm just shipping them out a new ball bearing that they can screw on there so that they get to keep the Lazy Susan because they like the look of it. It's beautiful Lazy Susan, but they didn't like the noise of it, so I'm just shipping that out to make them happy and to moving forward, just creating a better overall product. So that's not fun. And then a couple people have just wanted to return them because they didn't want to have to deal with it. And I found out that with returns, if they're coming back from the States, because I'm located in Canada, I have to pay duties and stuff on them, which sucks because sometimes the duties and import fees are more than the actual product itself. So sometimes the customer just keeps it because it's not worth it for me to take it back. I think I'm going to be updating my return policies in the future here that if they're returning it, the return price is also going to have to include the duty cost because I can't be forking out all the money all the time for the duties. Website hosting, I have to pay that every year to get my website still going and stuff, keep that running. And I just purchased a bunch of LEDs direct from factory from China. They're the best LEDs that I've used. I use them on my game tables for the LED light package that I include on them. And for the light table, I had to order some specific ones. They're really good. They're not individual diodes. They're kind of like a strip, so it creates more of a diffuse light and just looks really nice. You can also sync them up to music and stuff. They come with an app. I love them, but it's the first time I actually had to get them direct from factory, so it took a couple weeks, and shipping and conversion and stuff. It was expensive, and I'm basically just banking on the next couple tables that come in. Hopefully, I have LEDs. So, yeah, lots of expenses, not a lot of revenue, which kind of sucks, but it's January. It's typically a slow time. So, we're hoping moving into kind of February and the rest of the year, sales start picking back up. The fun and challenging moments. What happened this week? A really nice one was my buddy came out. He's been kind of wanting to get into woodworking and just wants to learn from me, from the shop, from my experience. I don't know why. I don't have a ton. I'm just joking. I love woodworking and I love showing everyone what I do. And if I get to teach it, it's a bonus. So he came out and I had him actually just on the joiner, just breaking down material. All my scrap stuff that I had from the holiday season, all my little cutoffs that I never want to throw away, like none of us really want to throw away. I got him actually cutting those down because those are actually going to be used for my pasta prototypes and the actual first run of all those, because I kind of modeled the prototypes after the offcuts that I typically get from my other projects. which allows me to kind of just reduce the waste that I'm throwing out, because if I can't use it, it goes in my burn bin, goes to my local farmer, and he heats his house with it. So trying to just make as much money from every board as possible. Really just trying to be more efficient and less wasteful with my offcuts. So that was one way. So I just had him breaking down everything. He really enjoyed it. He got to learn probably a couple hours worth of jointing, just the proper technique and stuff. So he's really locked that down. And then I found having a second person in the shop for planing operations, so feeding and in feed and out feed on the planer, is a godsend. Never Usually it's just me, so I have to feed it and unfeed it, and I kind of get into a rhythm that way. But when you have a person catching it and stacking it, and you can just feed way faster, highly recommend if you can do it. So yeah, he's coming out. He's gonna be trying to come out every week. So hopefully I'll have some video of him and me doing stuff in the shop. He has some other projects that he wants to build, so I'm gonna be helping him with that, which is wonderful. I like having another person in the shop instead of just me, my thoughts, and my music. I had a bunch of lazy Susan returns, like I talked about, so I've had to build a couple new ones because there was a few that had some weird stuff that I've never seen before. There were some splotches. Don't know if it's from the finish or if it was from the wood. Regardless, I have to make new ones and get those shipped out. And yeah, that's pretty much a wrap for the week. Future plans, what's happening next week? I'm actually going to visit my fam. I'm in Ottawa. My fam is in Calgary. I am going for a couple days just to go see them. I didn't really get to see them during the holidays, so this is kind of our holidays. It's also my parents' birthday, so happy birthday, mom and dad. And then I just wanted to make sure that this week is going to be kind of rushed because I only have a couple days before I head out, to get all my projects out. So my couple tables that I need to get out, my Etsy projects, they all need to be shipped before I leave because I'll be kind of gone for 5 or 6 days. So I don't want them just sitting in the shop. I'd like them being on their way to my clients. So this is gonna be a wrap. Check in next week for another recap for Shoplife. So bye.